After meeting up with Dr. Van Stein, I didn't know where else to go or who else to turn to, but I was hoping it would be just between me and him. Most of it is, but he called on another doctor. I can't seem to recall his name that well at this time. I was not in the best of state for formalities and such.
Woken up by Acrio removing his armor, which wasn't actually a first. Then we followed those tracks all the way back to a house with a big sign.
Acrio pointed us in the right direction. I was interested because Acrio seems to at least know what he's talking about. That's some weird faith or something. Went to check it out, followed the tracks back to a butcher's, which is all fine and dandy. I had some conversations with Asuriel. Got to know her a little bit better.
Strange. It was almost like instinct following those tracks. When we reached the place, Cillian proposed that we break in. I followed him in with no better option, really. And he suddenly started yelling at me, telling me to get out, get away from him.
I went to do my usual thing. Check for sounds, check for... And I tried looking, but everything was loud again. They're loud sometimes, they're loud all the time. I've learned to shut them out, but sometimes they just look you in the eye. They make themselves known because they're so damn alone. You're the only thing they can latch to.
He seemed to perform something that would allow me to look back at past memories. It was odd. I felt the presence of the other inside my mind that I'm constantly fighting with. But I was able to hold it off. All in all, I didn't seem to find anything specific, at least that I would have liked to have discovered. And Master, I saw him again. I haven't seen him in a while, but to see him, maybe it was my subconscious, as the doctors both suggested, but part of me wonders, even if I don't know what happened to him, whether he's dead or alive, maybe it's a form of communication.
He told me that he saw ghosts, I believe. He saw them screaming at him, that he didn't see my face for a second, he saw them. And he wouldn't go back inside. It was too bad in there.
I felt bad for yelling at Asuriel, but also I think she knows it wasn't against her. I like her company. And I think I offended Lorelei a little bit. I think I feel sorry, which is a strange feeling. I'll try to keep it hush-hush for now.
I hope he's okay, but what could be causing him to see ghosts? To see spirits, they don't usually manifest, I think.
Still haven't really spoken with any of the others. But now we've got this crazy stuff to deal with, more undead-related things. I don't know what's going to happen, but I already figure Lorelei's going to end up talking to me about whatever it is. I'm not going to probably mention the hypnosis. That I'd rather keep to myself.
Anyway, I looked through the house. It was empty, whoever lives there wasn't currently there. There were scratch marks inside the pantry. Could this be one of the werewolves? We'll have to see. Maybe breakfast will make things a little clearer.
The breakfast that Asuriel was hoping to contemplate all these things over never comes, because in the early breaking hour of the morning, everyone is awoken by these howling screams, these wails at the various points where everyone is located. People stir, people grab what equipment they can muster quickly and bolt in the direction of this sound. You hear this barking of a dog. It's not quite as loud as the screams, but as you're approaching, you hear it. It's like a warning. It's like a ward. It's very reminiscent of a guard dog. Ascending the hill toward the cathedral, there's an assembly of people, early risers, a few militia, as well as priests and cathars, all assembled outside the walled graph, the graveyard, on the north end of the cathedral. Blades drawn, the priestesses have their holy symbols of Avacyn, with many of them with the crescent moon shaped worked into it, the adherence to flight alabaster, several moon sages chanting angelic prayers, and you can all see that everybody's trying to get a sight. Everyone's trying to determine what's going on, where these screams are coming from. You can definitely see there is a large, dark dog with a silver collar kind of patrolling, and at intervals will bark in different directions. Seems to be a graph hound. Eventually, everyone is able to catch sight of this apparition. Female-like visage, certainly Geist-like, carrying a lantern. It appears and disappears throughout the graph at intervals.
Lorelei is pushing her way to the front of the crowd that's gathering. She is quite disrespectfully barging through to get good sight and possibly even get in there.
Yeah, while she's barging, Acrio's doing the polite excuse me, pardon me, Cathar business.
Most of the people at the edge of the graph are Cathars themselves. And everybody's kind of focused on the goings-on within this graveyard. So don't really stop you until you get close to the edge, and then it's barred hands and full stop.
I'm not going past them into it. I'll ask them what's going on.
Well, it looks like got a woken Geist.
When did we decide to put the graveyard in the towns?
Outside the towns, the necromancers get to them. Ghoul colors.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that little...
The Dead Eaters tear them apart.
I always thought that was Gavany and Nephalia. Forgot it was a problem here too.
Better safe than sorry, no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm. Just one?
Near as we can tell, kind of in and out. Some visual sometimes, that's never a good sign, but so far the priestesses have kept it contained.
I'm going to prop up an Eyes of the Grave just to see if I can sense any other undead things within 60 feet of me. If I notice the banshee, or if there's anything else, or if it's just her. Isn't behind total cover and isn't protected from divination magic.
So you would definitely get the immediate impression that the only active undead thing here is a singular entity that is wavering in and out of the physical world and its physical presence. But you can detect it pretty consistently.
Do I know if that's normal, the kind of phasing in and out? Like, do I know that that's pretty typical of...
So,
Nonsense.
make a religion check.
Okay.
Can I do that?
I'm proficient in
Sure.
that. Wow, hooray. Yeah?
15's
I am,
not
but
bad.
I'm not smart.
I'm not smart either.
Well, anyone who's proficient may do so.
Suck it.
Oh Jesus!
What is that?
Both of you know that most geists, if they do wake from the blessed sleep, typically are not visible. Some intentionally make themselves so. I think even Asuriel would kind of have this intuition. Kind of wavering back and forth is typically a sign of distress.
Oh, nothing like a distressed ghost.
I think I want to find like a bit of a high point, like climb on top of something, great something, get a view over the people, not be in front of the line. And I'll ask Reagan, guys, dark differentiate.
Over the whales, you could just kind of feel that presence with a confirmation. This one is angry, worse than the others. It just woke up, I think.
Sure. No use talking, right?
It's confused, maybe. Talk her down. It's possible. Won't say it isn't. Continues to bark.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
It sort of just goes up to Oscar. Is like, do you think there's anything we can do to help?
Well, usually the best thing to do here is put it back where it came from. I guess we put it down and put it back where it came from.
You would hear several of the Cathars say, "We're just trying to keep it contained for right now, hoping it would settle down, but nothing so far."
Can you keep it contained?
It's a lot of magic.
Looks to several of the moon sages. Power's waning. Angels aren't responding
Okay.
as often as they
We need to do something then.
Hey, Blue, you
might
think
come down to
we
the
can take
blade.
it? Pat's Lorelei. Hey, Blue, can we take it?
Define take.
Put it back into the grave. Can we kill it?
I mean,
I don't think it's going to go peacefully, but
you don't know that. It might.
the floor is yours if you want to try.
I want to send a message with my ghosty ghost. Toward the Banshee.
Oh, don't make him mad. Don't make him mad.
Yeah. So I'll speak forward carefully. I'll say, "My name is Cillian. Can you understand me?"
So you can kind of feel that Geist presence that surrounds you, whether it's Reigen or one of the others, leave and comes back, and just in a sorrowful tone, she just says, "Why? Why? She doesn't understand. She can hear, but
Too far gone.
too restless."
That's bad. It's hard to penetrate. And I don't want to go to a sore subject because it's a rough.
Reigen kind of whispers in your ear, "If she was weakened. Maybe she could sleep. Doesn't have to be destroyed. Just subdued.
I agree. This is too much hate, too much malice. Gone. Send one more message. We're here to help. You're willing to listen. That's fine. And then I'll slowly start moving.
Yeah, when you do that, make a persuasion check.
Basically saying, stop resisting.
The reply would be, it's not supposed to hurt like this.
Oh, fuck. Okay, at that point, I'll start marching my way towards the front where Lorelei and Acrio are like preparing. Coming. Been talking. It's a strange one. She seems hurting. It's not supposed to hurt like this. She told me. I think she's willing to listen. Let's not go in guns blazing. It's not
Of
gonna
course
be.
not, no. We don't need to
Sure.
cause her any unnecessary suffering. If we
Sure.
can do this gently, we will.
Mr. Cathars? Would you allow me to try?
People
Gonna
kind of
run in
turn
there
to you.
and try and give it a hug.
We won't stop you. Just that's unorthodox.
Of course.
In this
Fine.
state, we're in the point where it's either going to get better or it's going to get way worse.
Sure. And if it gets worse, I'm here to fight. Don't worry. I just want to try.
I'll go in with you. If it turns bad, I can keep her away.
I mean, that's not really a choice. Everybody's going in, but feel free to try to go peacefully first.
Are you sure, Cillian? Are you feeling better?
Never felt better.
All right.
I'm fine.
It's like trying to get your soul sucked out of your eyeballs or something.
I'll try. I'm very fond of
Can we do
myself.
Yeah.
I mean, some sort of do something to. Let's try.
All right. Yeah.
It get worse.
You guys go do your thing. I'll be 20, probably more like 60 feet away, waiting for something to go wrong. If it doesn't, hurrah.
In that
Trust
case, you can position yourselves where you would be.
There's a dog. We gotta kill it. Sorry, dog
It's a
can't get
greyhound. It's a
hurt.
good boy.
No,
Yeah.
no, not kill the
And-
dog. Kill the ghost because it's near the dog.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Amrita's kind of like she's like probably the last one. She kind of like stays back, just like watching, looking around, and how many people does it look like that she would probably recognize in this crowd, out of curiosity, and how many people see her?
I mean, there's a dozen or so, just civilians, and then twice as many priests, Cathars, people from the cathedral. I don't know that you would recognize them, any of them by name, but
Mm.
Hey, Bobby!
She is going to just kind of move up briefly and just like look at the others.
As Lorelei steps into the graph, can she get it? I'm pretty sure she has an idea of where Lars's grave is. Just
yeah.
you just she wants to just keep a mental note of where that is. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure nothing comes rolling out of that anytime soon.
Yeah, those of you assembled as you're entering the wrought iron gates with the worked symbol of Avacyn into the metal. The two of you in the know are the first to spot, and then the others would catch sight. One of the graves, one of the newer looking ones, has got these vibrantly painted handprints in different colors, just in different places, different sizes, hasn't been washed away by the rain and the weather yet.
What is this? Oh, I
Well-
remember what that is.
Acrio wouldn't know, but
You would also probably see on one edge just a small coiled metal twisted into the almost the shape of a flower.
no, not the metal.
Oh,
Oh my god.
But yeah,
I forgot to
so
put that bullshit
this
there.
will be in initiative to even determine what this
Rolo initiative.
banshee does. So you guys, please add yourself to that.
I will go last.
My things. The screaming is so unnerving. I do not like.
Amrita, Cillian has indicated that he's got something up his sleeve or that he would like to do, but whether or not you wait for that is up to you.
She'll just stay back then. It's like, it just fails. Well, I can try to put it to sleep, but undead is not my expertise. And we'll hold her action.
Lorelei is going to walk up, kind of by Cillian's shoulder, and she will just put a hand like on his back. And there's like a very distant sound of like birds of prey calling in the background. And I will cast Enhance Ability and give you advantage on charisma checks. It's like, if you're going to talk to it, good luck to you.
She's just gonna stand over there and see what happens.
Get the popcorn.
Yeah, so Doctor, you don't necessarily have to be in the graph per se as this is going down. You see all these individuals just making their way toward this wailing spirit, which doesn't seem like the least hazardous idea.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't start killing people, it's not really his business. So he just strikes a match, lights his pipe, and waits for anybody to start dying.
Probably won't.
I will
take too
fix
long.
them with my stitching tool when their soul gets sucked out of their body.
I'll
Who
sew
needs
their soul
souls?
back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am walking towards this banshee. I sort of implore some of the Reigen and some other guys that I trust that are near me often, at least in first time. Sort of stay close, stand around me, and I approach gingerly, but not. It doesn't look like I'm sort of sneaking towards her and I'm afraid of her. I'm just walking towards her like a normal human. I say, my name's Cillian. We've been talking. These are my friends, Dragon. This is Isa. Talk to. We talk a lot. Is there anything I can do to make it hurt less?
The Geist would turn in your direction, still somewhat flickering in and out of existence, kind of directing its lantern in your direction. The hound with the silver collar continues to bark. And you start to, first of all, you hear Reigen and a few of the others just, he would be like, forget how tiring a graft is. He almost sounds exhausted being in this graft, which is intended to pull spirits to sleep. They are consciously around you, but feeling the effects of this hollowed ground.
Okay, interesting.
I think the wailing soul in front of you would just ask, "Why am I here?"
What I'm trying to figure out. I'm sure you would rather be somewhere else, but magic.
I wish to sleep. I was asleep.
And we're here to grant you that. We will try. We will make you fall asleep. Is there anything keeping you here? Can you feel anything?
She would just hold out her lantern toward this broken sarcophagus right here. And even from the angle you're at, you can see there is a woman's body, long decayed within.
Like one step closer. Not on the like.
Parkour.
That you?
I think so.
Can I see a name?
You would see a name. I'm gonna say it's Sarah, because it's the first one that comes to my mind.
Well, Sarah, good to meet you. I can be of some importance to you. I know how you're feeling, and that might be difficult to understand, but I've seen it so many times before. So many. I know the anguish. I know the want for us. I've seen it. I've heard it. I hear it all the time around me. Can I... There's nothing in or around the grave that would indicate it's been, like, dug up or anything, or disturbed, or in any way, did something happen to the grave that got disturbed?
You can see that the stonework is broken, but it looks like it's been that way for a while. This graph is in some level of disrepair. Doesn't necessarily look like anything's happened to it recently, no.
We're gonna sleep, sir. Do I? This I of course have no idea. Does Cillian know of any way to put a restless spirit back to sleep?
Make a religion check.
Sure.
Unfortunately, while your aunties and your mother and your grandmothers brought you up with some knowledge of Geist's calling and communication, they had ways to dispel them, but not necessarily to put a restless Geist back to sleep.
All right. Tried. I do.
And I'm going to say that's probably everything you can fit on your 6 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Of a round, yeah.
Sorry.
This is
So
a slow down
Acrio.
time.
Yeah, what's Acrio doing as that is all happening?
I'm moving over here, and then I'm gonna dash. I can't see, but I'm here. Oh.
Okay.
That'll be 60. And then I'll just be standing here. within range of getting my soul sucked.
Sure.
Dashing, clink, 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 clink.
So I'm going to do this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This Geist seems to take in everything you've been saying to it. And it you feel it beginning to vanish. Although you're not entirely sure that's a good thing. It keeps itself corporeal. And as you watch that happen, you almost get the impression that's worse. It's wavering between kind of that ethereal state and the visual state you can see it. Trying to focus on your words. There's a bit of a hunger in her eyes that she can't quite overcome. So eventually you see her just vanish.
Oh, fuck.
Without attacking you, but she leaves your line of sight. And
panic mode!
Panic, 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 panic.
Panic! Everybody turn on dead!
Everyone hit the button!
that is all she's going to do this round. You can see this graph hound with the silver collar change directions and continues to bark, but more in a northerly direction.
Where's north?
The map is always oriented north.
Okay, so
basically,
she's moving up and away.
Yeah, you can get the impression that she has gone away from you.
Oh, like she's left?
She's invisible, so you don't know.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
How does Amrita react to that?
Wait, yeah, never mind. That held action would be gone by now, wouldn't it? Yeah, never mind.
I mean, yeah, because she didn't really do anything
She
hostile.
didn't really, yeah, because it was like,
Suppressed that instinct.
I should have gone with my gut feeling. I'm just gonna skedaddle, move up here. She's gonna see if she can also like sense where this Geist is going, just just curiously looking, but like raising her bow, but like just pushing up the headband a little bit to see if she can figure out where. Like
I'm
looking
going
along
to
with
say,
the dog.
for the purposes of this being actually a lot faster than it's being described, and if you're going to use the abilities of the Restless Eye, you're going to have to you can't just like do little peekies. You're going to have to reveal it or not.
All right. She pushes it up as long as her back's toward everybody else. Like the rest of the party.
I mean, there's people surrounding.
Then never
different
mind. She's not
angles of
gonna
the
do
graph.
it. She's not gonna do it then. She's just gonna wait and see what happens again.
So you'll take up kind of a defensive posture with the bow drawn, continuing to focus on where this hound is barking, but not approaching too much.
I'm going to walk up next to the puppy. Eyes of the Grave doesn't last very long, does it? It's like... So I will do that again to see if that flags up a little radar of where it is. Just open up my Eyes of the Grave, see if I can like triangulate with where the dog's barking.
So you can kind of begin to see this kind of outline, but while the rest of you have lost that like intervals of wailing and shrieking, as you open up your Eyes of the Grave, Lorelei, you also hear that sound just splitting your ears within your head. You can kind of sense the presence up against the edge of this graph, almost trying to force itself out, but unable to cross the threshold.
Yeah, she will just like one hand kind of like gripping her head, like ow. She'll just kind of point like directly to where it is, just like as accurately as she can, and just call out to everyone like, she's there, she's trying to get out. We need to We need to up the ante on this. And she just keeps her hand like pointed to where the banshee is, like, up by the wall.
Okay, well, she's trying to escape. Cyril's gonna move up 30 feet. And she's gonna try and firebolt it.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a disadvantage. She's just like trying to follow Lorelei's pointing. That is not what I was intending, but that is still a 16.
You just, the small mote of kind of white golden flame flies forth from her hand. It hits the wall. There's no way to know if it hit the being you were kind of aiming at in its direction.
I was like, just
Guessing the doctor's not barging in to do anything at this moment.
Nope, still smoking his pipe.
just chilling.
Hearing this thing appears to be trying to escape, according to Lorelei. How does Cillian react to that?
First of all, he will sort of turn to the group and say, please don't destroy her. Weaken her. Let her go back to sleep. She doesn't want to be here. She doesn't know why she's here. Not a lot of malice. And I'll turn towards her and I'll draw my weapons. And I think
Such as they are.
Yeah.
Pulls a needle.
Exactly.
I'm about to embroider the shit out of you.
Yeah, and I'll stand where... No, I'll actually stand right in front of her grave. And just wait. I'll hold my action to attack if she attacks.
I'm gonna move up here, and I'm gonna turn on dead.
Okay.
I don't know what that does because I've literally never used it before, even though I play clerics. I mean, one sec.
This isn't my thing.
As an action, you present your holy symbol. I'll guess that's my hammer because everything has fucking Avacyn symbol on it.
I think that your shield,
my shield,
probably parts of your armor,
my armor, I've got
Your underwear.
Yeah,
That's one
I've got like a
epistemic point.
sash. Just literally everything is covered in holy symbols. Oof, I am fairly certain that.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, you don't get any reaction. Positive,
Alright.
negative. It's almost a stillness that settles in over the graph.
And then I'll cast spiritual weapon. Does it have to be right next to me? Or can I
No,
The
it
cast
should be
spiritual
like-
weapon? No. Within
It'd be like-
60 feet.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna cast it like I can't see, so like while I was in that spot
Sure.
here, like
She flickers back into the material world, still kind of pressed against this edge of the graph. She just wails, whips, and turns to both Asuriel and to Acrio, who both attempted to damage her, it feels like.
I definitely intended to do that, so you're not wrong, Miss Ghost.
She's going to go for Asuriel, who threw fire at her.
Shit.
And just moving through the air with an incredible speed, hovering, her hair trailing behind her, the tattered dress of her geist-like form, and just with the lantern swings it toward your face.
That
Amrita,
does
Corrupting
hit.
touch. I don't like that as a name.
You're hit, and it passes through you, and you can almost feel like the chain and her fingernails go across your face.
Down to single digits already.
Oh!
As you
Should've been
see
a
this
tense word.
happening, Amrita, you're able to react.
Awesome. Yep. She's gonna quickly just like
I'm gonna say she has half cover at this angle, but
shoot.
that still hits. The bolt passes between Asuriel and just over Cillian's shoulder. You can almost feel the air of the motion of the arrow in your curly hair, Cillian, and it passes through the Geist. You can see her react, but then it kind of drops to the other side. It does appear that she was affected by it, weakened somewhat, but it's not the most powerful weapon.
Can I?
Oh yeah, if you were
sure. Thank you. He pulls from the back of his belt this pair of scissors, and he sort of puts them both the blades in a 90-degree angle, pulls them from each other, so now he's holding like these two daggers, and he just uses one to stab.
You're gonna just be using weapons that I can't make magical this entire campaign.
Yes.
Yes, this half of a scissor. Where do you go? Do you go for her like throat, center mass? What are you trying to do here?
As central as possible.
Sure.
Where the heart would be.
Quick jab, yes. Toward the heart. With her being slashing and swinging at Asuriel, you are able to use sneak attack on that.
And he just says, I'm sorry. It has to happen.
And she reacts to the blade in her chest and just leans back, mouth opening into a black, like, cavernous maw that just pierces your ears as she shrieks. And Amrita, you can get another arrow off or do move, reposition, whatever you need to.
Yeah, Amrita's going to kind of like move over here. Yeah, and against her better judgment, she's just gonna like, as she goes to hold the bow and just like just mutters like something like in Celestial, where it's just like, make this easier. Just go to sleep. And she just goes ahead and just removes the headband so she can use the eye bite wisdom save.
Cillian double takes again.
It's new every time.
Risky doing that out in the open, but
Does the doctor perceive the eye from where he stands?
Not from
Probably
this
not,
angle,
but
but yeah, not quite. You see her remove the headband, and then the spirit begins to drift back. The wailing ends, and she is still upright, still kind of floating in that space. But Cillian and Asuriel being so close, you see the eyes close.
Is that a good thing?
he's
That's
asleep
possibly
now.
a question for Lorelei, who is up.
Ah, fuck. I don't know what to do! Do I get
From where you're
the-
at, the hound will move up somewhat also, but it stopped barking, just kind of like prowling, keeping its eyes on the form of this spectral being, but it doesn't seem to be actively pursuing it anymore, and the Geist is seemingly not conscious.
And seeing that it's unconscious, Laura will just put a hand to a holy symbol and just start like chanting that turn undead prayer in the hopes that she can lull it back to sleep
We shall see.
and push it into what I assume is its grave.
Cillian's sort of second voice is this half song.
Hold on a minute. Fuck, that passes. Shit. My spell save DC is 14.
Well,
For whatever reason, this power you've called on before from Bruna and the archangels, perhaps it's because this soul is so fresh and so confused, even in its unconscious state, fights back.
Well, I just like shakes her head, like, I'm sorry. And that's all I can really do.
Surreal.
Can I do a religion check as to how to proceed to put her to rest?
You can. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a disadvantage because it would be somewhat memory based, I think. Something that's trained and not necessarily innate, but you
Fair
can add
enough.
your bonus to that.
That's not too bad.
You get the impression that what Lorelei had done should have worked. In most cases, it probably would have, and there's a moment of confusion, like, why didn't it?
Just gonna look around at the Cathars, the moon priests all around. It's like, she's unconscious. Just push her back into the grave.
Oh my god.
It's like,
Is that what you're going to attempt to do? Is just physically push her back into her body?
maybe.
Are you right? It's bonus action nudge.
Yup.
Oh my god.
Hey,
It's not like she's got a lot of options.
you are at single digits HP, lady.
Well, she doesn't.
Yeah,
seem to
well,
be
it's
attacking
unconscious.
right now.
Maybe get to safety.
Sounds like a smart thing to do.
This is Salty we're talking about. And she's just prone to danger anyway.
I mean, there's a reason I've gone through 3 characters.
So, what's she going to do in this moment?
Just
She's just
Grab
like
that
looking
bitch.
around the moon priest, like, what do we do next? Please instruct.
I mean, this is like split-second stuff happening. They're not going to calculate and start shouting orders.
Yeah,
Like, you've got
maybe she's
a couple seconds to do this.
she's maybe just gonna retreat behind Lorelei.
While the instinct might have been to shove a spirit back into its body, Asuriel ends up just like, too wounded. You still feel like that pain on your face seems to be lingering as you take a bit of cover behind Lorelei. From the distance, the doctor can see that Asuriel has these like black, like almost claw mark looking slashes on her face, but she's still conscious, so
He's
I
probably
will
just
do
gonna
nothing. Because
he's gonna dash, just kind of walking next to her,
Ah.
kind of. Yeah, she can basically just feel like a syringe suddenly kind of being jabbed into where the well, not jabbed, but inserted into the wound before he eventually begins to patch it up without much saying anything, as he's just like, that should do it, and you will restore 8 hit points.
yeah, Lorelei, you see this man, rather well dressed, fine mustache, just rush across the graph, and then from behind you, stick a needle in Asuriel's face,
Mhm.
gingerly, not aggressively, but and yeah, the color begins to return slightly.
the toxins will set in. soon.
Close up slowly. I would say it's probably like a sort of healing potion, like diminished version that he kind of just injects.
She'll probably just go like, eep!
Yeah. And that
You
is
restore
not
8
like a
EP
dodge.
points.
Dang.
Mhm.
And Cillian, you're the
Okay.
only one left face to face with this floating, unconscious spirit.
Just wait, Cillian. See what you can do.
Good try.
I sort of start singing a soft lullaby as I just step around her.
Dosey
And
do.
yeah, exactly. And I imagine Reagan is outside of the background, close to me.
Mhm.
I sort of turn to him, pausing 1 second, and say, "You said we can help me."
You can just feel him direct, kind of it like you can't see him, but you feel as though he's nodding toward Lorelei and just being like, "That should have worked. Don't know why it didn't."
And I'll just say to Lorelei, actually, "Is there any way you could try again?"
I mean, I can try. I guess. I don't know.
It worked. It
Out of
worked.
character. Out of character. I only have one channel divinity, so all I can
Yeah.
really do is just kind of sing.
He
really-
doesn't know that.
Yeah.
But he does keep sort of in the tune she used during the undead. Sort of keep singing to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold an attack.
Acrio, Yeah, you've-
Alright.
you've attempted to turn undead. You've seen Lorelei do something very similar. Neither of them seem to have accomplished what it should have.
Alright. There's always the alternative method of the Cathar way, or the angel way. Angels are usually a little more violent. So, I'm going to dash over up to Amrita, without her consent, slap her bow, magic weapon as a bonus action. Her weapon's magical now. And then
Always
I'll
ask consent before you magicify someone's weapon, kids. Always ask consent.
And I'm going to be moving up here close to it. And then I'll move. I can't move my hammer because that takes a bonus action. Yeah, that's it.
But yes, the way of flight alabaster has been attempted. Perhaps the way of gold knight.
Yeah.
No!
Burn!
But yes, Amrita,
Holy violence.
you can kind of feel like a warmth and a vibration in your bow that you've never experienced before.
Seeing that she gets like kind of shocked at first when she sees like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff's going on. She's trying to just focus on this spectral being and just kind of like narrows her eyes, seeing that doesn't work for Lorelei or anything, and confused with the bow, yada yada yada. She's gonna see something similar what the Vistani fella had been doing, and like just briefly put her bow away and like switch to her flute and try to play melody.
Huh? Okay. You can do a performance check with your flute proficiency added on top. Does Amrita have any religious training at all? Is she proficient in that, or is that not something?
She has a +3 to religion, but she's not proficient in it, no.
She's not proficient. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be rather difficult. It is theoretically possible, but without the proper training, it's going to require a lot. So you will roll performance, then you'll add a +2 from your flute proficiency on top.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is not quite enough. You get the sense that the Geist is continued to be lulled, and not simply because of this eye in the center of your forehead that's forced it to be. You get the impression it wants, or at least part of it wants, to return to sleep, but another part is restless, almost hungry, and it's not accepting of these methods. So, Lorelei, you've seen all of these attempts yield less than savory results.
Oh, this is a moral quandary. Oh, for sure, this is a moral quandary. So I'm getting the impression that like none of this singing is just not working point blank.
Pretty much.
She's going to look kind of past the banshee to Cillian, and then just like, shake her head like, "I'm sorry. I tried." And I'm going to toll the dead banshee.
And at the same time, push my scissor blades into her with my halberd.
The path of
Three!
violence.
Why can I never roll good?
So yeah, Cillian, she is unconscious, so you do have advantage on this. So yes, roll another d20, please.
Sorry, D20?
At least one of those wisdom saves failed, right?
D20.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've
Yeah.
kept her dormant, but yeah, Cillian, if you could roll one more d20 unmodified.
Wow.
Funny. That doesn't count as an ability check, though, right?
No, it does not. It's just a bonus thing, so no. So yeah, that's gonna be 6.
Normal damage.
Well, you still get
Yeah.
sneak attack, don't you?
I'm gonna say it's that hesitancy. Like it could have been like a decisive strike, but something within Cillian just doesn't want to go through with it. He does, but not as decisively and dreadfully as he could have. Lorelei, unfortunately, this Geist is immune to necrotic damage, so that doesn't actually do anything.
I can't hit this Geist at all! I can't hit this Geist at all!
That does cause it to wake up.
Yeah.
Taking damage from these scissor blades, and Cillian, you feel it's not angry so much as that it's just distressed and in pain.
I have this extremely difficult look on my face. He doesn't like what he's doing.
Alright, team, we're continuing to attack it. Just gonna use Mind Sliver on it.
Okay.
And it is a...
Intelligence save.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Well then. Nothing happens. Nothing at all. Just hiding behind Lorelei, hoping it doesn't
As
come
much
to
as
us again.
as much as this spirit would have wanted to sleep, all of the wards, all of the angelic magics that have been placed on this graph have wavered enough. All of the attempts to turn it and weaken it, other than direct damage, have been failing, and whether it was called, whether this was a random awakening, it is not accepting of what is happening to it. It is pushing back fearfully.
Question: can the doctor now see the third eye?
If you were to spin around and survey,
Yeah, he would survey the
battlefield.
Okay.
Oh, you got a fucked up forehead.
I would probably dodge. And that's it.
Okay.
I like this guy.
So Cillian, you're the only thing up in this creature's business currently.
Right. I'll that's like the anti-rogue position. Yeah, I guess I'll just feint and use my bonus action to disengage. Move over here and hide from it with my action.
Okay.
That might still be a damage.
Oh yes, yeah. So that would just be a 10. Doesn't seem to have tracked your movements too much.
So yeah, both hammers, raising up and try and smack this thing back to where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Nice.
Nice.
So just
Both of these just wreck this Geist.
it's him, like they both center on her, and then while he reels his hammer up, the other hammer reels itself up, and then they just both crash into its head at the same time.
Oh god.
Both hammers collide in the
Yeah.
space of her head.
ring out like a bell.
There's a burst of fire and sparks where the two connect.
Yeah, it sounds like a forge, because that's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm. She's going to use that. As you remove your hammer, her face, which had been already somewhat corrupted and, dead-like, is now just this horrifying visage of pain and sorrow and everything you don't want to experience after death.
Disadvantage.
So,
Oh shit.
everyone except for Cillian, I believe. Yes, everyone except for Cillian needs to make a DC 13 sanity saving throw.
Hi.
Oh, you hear that bird?
Oh my god.
Is it at disadvantage?
Oh yeah, because. Oh wait, no, it's only if you're frightened.
No,
It's only
not
if
on
you're
the not
frightened.
on the initial save.
Yeah, it's only if you're frightened.
Once you're
Okay.
frightened, you can repeat the save at the end of turns.
Oh.
Disadvantage if you're within line of sight.
Ah, come on, Lorelei.
Be feared.
Oh god.
I'm so ashamed of fucking up that I was like, no, don't look at me.
So everyone who can see this in the distance, including the hound actually, shrink back this horrifying presence getting into your soul more than anything else. You can feel the spirit within you reacting to this pain, pushing you away, all with the exception of Acrio, whose determination of the angels continues to push him forward. So, you can continue to act. You cannot move closer to it, but you can attack at disadvantage, or or you can try to hide yourself away from it.
Yeah, I'd imagine she would just kind of back up from that.
But you also
and I
have
will-
a +1 bonus from the magic weapon, which you feel kind of guiding your aim slightly.
Cool. Then I will, yeah. I'm not high enough health to do my blood right yet, so that would be a bad idea. Nope.
Oh my god.
Yeah, unfortunately, while the magic is directing you, this physical presence, this visage on the face of the banshee causes you to waver slightly. Even the eye within your head you can feel it just focusing in other directions. It can't even appear to look at this thing.
Well,
And the arrow goes wide, kind of through Acrio's spiritual hammer.
So literally, I cannot physically touch this Geist right now. Like, I have nothing that is gonna touch it, which is really funny. Like, all my spell slots for, to use anything is gone, and all my cantrips are necrotic. So what I am gonna do
Sure.
is I am going to kind of just kind of huddle a little bit behind, kind of in this corner here, huddle down a bit, kind of just her knees buckle underneath her, and as she crouches down and her cloak touches the ground, the shadows that her cloak casts shoot out from under her feet and begin to kind of try and coil around the Geist and hold it in place, and I will cast Hinder.
Nice. Also, Amrita, at the end of your turn, you could make a sanity save at disadvantage because it's still in line of sight, but you can do that.
Go ahead and do that real quick.
hey,
17.
Hey!
You succeed.
girl.
Watching your one arrow miss, it's just no, that's not how that's supposed to be. You're a hunter, So you force yourself to re-aim with more clarity this time. And yeah, she's gonna. She's not strong, so this abjuring cantrip it causes the banshee sluggish movements.
It's just like little shadowy hands that like reach out of the ground. They're not like menacing, like zombie hands, but it's more just hands out of the ground.
Like wispy, effervescent.
Yeah, wispy.
Hands.
Yeah,
That's horrific.
delicate.
Zombie
I know.
hands wouldn't be as creepy.
Grabby hands are creepy. They see grabby hands, but it's more just like it's okay. It's okay.
No.
Acrio continuing to write down a list of things we need to talk about
That's
and discuss.
horrific.
Yeah, that is everything I can do. Another sanity save.
Yes.
And it's in line of sight, so that's disadvantage.
Mhm.
Hit. No.
Mm.
No. She's just knees completely buckled, like.
Lorelei failing sanity saves. How weird.
So
Yeah, I know,
strange.
right? I think I have like one of the highest sanity scores in the world.
Yeah.
Is Cyril just like peek out from behind Lorelei, cast Mind Sliver again?
Cowering with me.
Yup.
Crumpled up on the ground. Try to. This time it does seem to work, as the Geist is somewhat momentarily distracted by these shadowy hands that are just not grasping exactly, but I hate to use the term fawning, but that's almost what's happening.
Alright,
It's like when you put your hands on someone's
God
shoulders to
damn it.
calm them down.
Yes.
And subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of my next turn.
Hey.
So, saving throws might be a good idea.
Yeah, it would.
And Asuriel can also make sanity save with the same results as Lorelei. No, just two scared women clutching each other behind a tombstone. As
Gang,
the girl
gang.
stands over them.
Seeing as nobody's really dying, he will just keep on dodging.
I will leave now.
Smoke his pipe some more, and
Just gritting
reattempt
his
saving
teeth,
throw.
biting the edge of his pipe as hard as he can to not
Leaving
show
teeth
any
marks in
emotion of a reaction to this.
Everything's fine.
fearfulness. Yeah, just
Like a train.
everything is fine.
Puff
Here's
so
not
hard that the
something
fucking smoke leaf in it just goes up in the air.
I think that makes the save, right? It was 15.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Force that visage out of your mind.
I'll peek around the corner. Pressed up against it. Seeing Acrio up close to it, he's really happy. Although seeing everyone cowering in fear, he takes the moment and flings one of his needles. Was I hidden?
You
Was like
just did not beat its passive perception, so
cool.
it didn't really follow you, but it was still aware.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Don't need it anyway.
Redux!
Yeah,
Redux!
Okay. Yeah, this time focusing, he kind of pushes away the excess thoughts of him not liking this. So just for this moment, focus on killing a ghost. Funny.
Yeah.
hey.
Yay,
not
there's a 1 in
bad.
it, but it's better.
Yes, you will be rolling your damage dice twice, adding them together. So that is 11 on that, and you can roll your sneak attack twice, and then add all of that into one giant pool. So that is 19.
19.
That is quite a
yeah.
bit. From a
That's
single
solid.
needle, Acrio, you see this small iron little beam just shoot through one temple and out the other.
Nice.
Disrespecting so many graves, he like goes vaulting over and just beelines towards getting in a flanking position with that.
Can I command as it's not my turn? Am I allowed to talk?
Sure, you can say words.
Yeah, I'm Acrio's looking behind him, and as he watches Cillian sprinting over, he's like, "Move more towards her grave. I'm gonna block them," because I'm moving over to the side one. Yeah.
The master tactician.
Teamwork!
So Acrio, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking behind me. I see everybody screaming behind me, so I'll move over one, get in that position. Hammer doesn't really need flanking, but I'll take it. So, Hammer, bop. Spiritual. Ooh, that one.
Ooh.
Sorry, Hammer.
Oh, and that was such good damage too.
It was.
Reacting somewhat violently from the needle that passed through her head, she convulses as the hammer is attempted to be dropped, and it completely misses any physical form she has.
Hammer. What is 1d4 in this game, right? Yeah, I playing in person. They're like, "Oh yeah, flanking gives you advantage." I'm like, "What?"
What is that?
That's not how we play.
Got it. So I'll just crack it in the metaphorical rib cage.
Nice.
Flames.
Which it reacts about as excessively and convulsively to the hammer as it did to this needle. Despite yours is imbued with magics from the angels. The needle was a very well aimed shot.
Yeah.
But yes, it does take damage from that as well. The banshee, which had been wailing and screeching at intervals this entire time, now kind of like with what had been kind of that metaphorical rib cage kind of torn open, the inside space of her chest kind of like wisping away opens up even more, and she shrieks, not even from her voice, but like from her chest, from her interior being.
Oh, yep. I had a feeling that was coming.
Constitution save from everyone within 30 feet, so all but Amrita.
Acrio's holding the fucking line today. Acrio's holding the fucking line today.
I'm gonna use my my little thing that I get as a divine sorcerer, which is add 2d4 to that save.
Mm-hmm. That is going to pass.
Yeah, you can still take damage, I think, from that. So.
Yeah, 3d6 psychic.
Oh my god. So even though you passed your save, I think that'll knock you out.
No,
Nope,
because of the
thankfully
healing
not.
from the doctor.
Oh, she got
If the doctor hadn't been there,
Oh
she would
god,
be
yeah.
dead.
I was like, I forgot. I thought she was still in single digits. I was like, oh fuck.
No. But from this cacophonous wail, yeah, Cillian, Lorelei, and Dr. Engel all pass out, just unable to contain the vibrations from this unholy thing, and you all drop to 0 hit points. And the banshee is going to move away into a thiswardly type direction.
Opportunity attacks?
Yes. Well, you get one.
Well attacked, yeah.
Well, me and... Oh, Cillian's not up.
Cillian's unconscious.
Oh, fuck.
She cannot go as far. Like, you see her trying to move through the air, just turning to get away from you all, but it's just these wispy black hands continue to grasp at the edges of her skirts, and she just can't move very quickly. That does something. She is looking very, very weak at this point.
Forward
But
swing,
also-
she runs away, back swing.
But all of your companions in the near vicinity also look completely devastated. Amrita, you watch as Cillian, Lorelei, the doctor you had met the other night, all hit the ground, blood trailing out of their ears.
Against her better judgment, she kind of like finds herself grabbing at like one of the places where she had bandaged herself, like knowing it's a great risk, but goes ahead and casts a flame, right of the flame with her blood and everything.
Oh, I did take damage. I need a con save.
Oh yeah, I'm unconscious, so that I'm out of my.
Your weapon is not magical now.
That's fine. Well, with your magic, but my magic, yes. So I think I take 2 against myself. So I have the right of the flame. The flame is in the eyes, etc. on the bow, and I'm gonna try and hit her with it.
Oh.
Well,
Close, but not
Doing really
quite.
good.
And another shot that just goes wide. Yeah.
can't do anything else about it. So, the
dice said no.
Yeah, they're just
Nope.
like, nah.
Nope.
Okay, on my
yeah.
turn, my angelic seal is going to activate again because we had a short rest since the last time it happened. So nice glowy little Iron Man chest thing, and Lorelei sort of chokes and pushes herself back up, like a little disoriented. Whoa. Looking around, just kind of surveying what's going on. Seeing Cillian's also out. Bonus action spare the dying on him, just like as an instinct. Like she's not even like he could just be sleeping. Who knows? But she's going to spare the dying on Cillian, and with her, I'm just going to keep her held, and like the shadows will start like pulsing again, and try and reach back out and hinder her once more. Yep.
Continues to be hindered.
Very strong.
Lorelei's just on the floor, and just these shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Is dog dead?
Is the dog okay?
Dog is not dead.
Yes!
Yeah, boy.
Dog is very resilient. It's like, also you can see like blood kind of trailing from its ears into the fur. It's kind of whimpering on the ground, but it's not. It is not unconscious and dead.
And that's
Asuriel. You see this
All right.
spirit moving away as you're kind of regaining your composure. Which I think, Lorelei,
Yes.
you actually still need to make a sanity save against the frightening effect,
Oh yeah,
because that
Is
doesn't
it-
go
is
away
it-
just because you went
is it with-
unconscious.
yeah. Is it within line of sight? So is it still disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay,
Or
cool.
no, it's got this thing right here in front of it, so you'll be at regular for that.
Oh, okay, good. Yes. Kind of shaking it off.
And
like,
Asuriel is also afeared.
Oh dear.
So Asuriel just kind of like crawls around and over the doctor's unconscious body as he's
Yeah.
bleeding out on the ground.
Just like stepping over it, like, what the fuck? And.
nothing personnel, kiddo. Can't have
Well-
civilians.
Well,
around.
doctor is nice man, but needles, what the fuck? Lorelei will take care of him. And we'll cast Mind Sliver again.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, that strength save was made with a minus 1d4.
oh, shit.
So even lower.
Hello, please? Yes, sir. That's nice.
pretty good. You see her as she's moving away and these hands are grasping at her. She just like hunches over, hands clutching at her Still
And-
slightly existing in this space.
Alright, let's see. Sanity, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Nope. Still
Perhaps
still
no,
afraid though.
maybe?
But yes, the doctor, I don't believe has been stabilized, so we'll need to make a death saving throw, please. It is not doing particularly well with that. Cillian is stable, but unconscious. Acrio.
I like to think he's in a very good look.
Hammer there, and then me there. Actually, me there.
Two-pronged attack.
Yeah. Once again, actually, I'm gonna block off its exit. I'll go here. Let me just make sure I had enough movement. Bashing it into the ground where it belongs.
Back into the graph dirt.
Yeah, back where you belong. And then spiritual weapon. Damn, that spiritual weapon's not rolling great, but doing really good damage.
I'm gonna. That happened all the time to me. Like before, when I've used it, it happens all the fucking time. Cannot hit
Yeah.
for shit.
Regardless, how does Acrio want to end this?
Grabs his hammer. He's not brutal. He's not evil, and the spirit belongs where it belongs. So he whispers a short prayer to the hammer, raises it in the air. It glows a bit with its angelic power, and then with a large uphanded swing, just does one final bash into its head to bring it into the ground.
The hammer, followed by the spiritual hammer, which doesn't hit because there's nothing left. As you swing and you hit the dirt with this trail of flames behind it, the only thing remaining is that lantern that she had been carrying, searching for something, as it begins to then dissipate and evaporate like an effervescent smoke, and there is nothing existing of this being.
You can shimmy on over to the doctor. Help that out.
Yeah. With it dead and the fact that I don't have any healing because I used all my second level spells, I know they were talking about this grave over here. I'll kind of... Well, I don't have a helmet on. I'm literally running this in my cloth.
New skivvies.
Yeah. So I'll
Regular
kind of
clothes.
meander on over to the broken grave, step my hammer on top of it, and I'll start casting mending to fix it up.
So mending comes from your hammer, so you have to use...
I'm setting the
like,
hammer
just-
on it and using the
Gotcha.
hammer to...
I gotcha. What is Asuriel doing with the doctor? Are you just trying to like medicine check, make sure he doesn't die, or
Looking into his eyes longingly.
She's gonna look around for one of those needles, maybe, and well, actually, no, that's a bad idea. She doesn't know what's in the needles. No,
just
The
start
used
injecting
one that you just
random
used on you.
fluids into bodies?
yeah,
That'll go
she'll
really
do
well.
medicine check.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, that wasn't supposed to be a +4 to that,
but even still, a 19 seems the effect was mostly derived from the banshee. So once it has been killed, feels like the wrong word, but its presence is no longer felt. It's easy enough to stabilize this individual who has helped you. You still feel that burning sensation in your face, but it's lessened.
it just feels super weird. There's no wound, but it's just there.
Lorelei's going to walk over to Cillian and cast Cure Wounds on him to kind of bring him back. Because Circle of Mortality, Cure Wounds will heal max for you, so that is 12.
That's all
You're
his
at
HP.
Cillian awakens from his completely flattering pose on the ground. You see Lorelei over him.
Well, aren't you just a lovely sight? Is everything okay?
It's dealt with. It's done.
Yeah, glancing over, you can see Acrio standing over the grave with the hammer balanced on the pommel as the stone begins to reseal itself, almost as if you're watching the age of and progression of time go in reverse, and the cracks reseal themselves.
Thank you.
What's Amrita doing as all of this is going down?
Quickly dismisses the Crimson Rite and throws on the headband and everything, and like walks over to where Asuriel and the doctor guy is, and like she stares down like in confusion for a moment. It's like, need to get him to Dr. Stein. I think he could help him. He's a doctor that I don't know him well, but I know him to an extent.
He's an acquaintance?
Yeah, I'll just... And she kind of just awkwardly goes to kind of pick up this like unconscious man, just like, and everything, like sling him like over one, like arm over the shoulders. Dr. Stein shouldn't be too far from here. Might be able to help him out.
If you're going again, maybe come back to the tavern later. Lorelei looks like she really wants to talk to you.
Beyond looking like that, Lorelei looks like she's about to die.
Yeah, like bleeding
like-
from the everything.
Asuriel, the doctor, even Amrita, who didn't take any damage from the Geist, her own Crimson Rite magic has caused her to be fairly bloodied. You can see where she cut herself. It's just draining down her arm. Cillian is fairly patched up due to the magics. He's not in dire straits, but the other four are all very bad, in a very bad way.
Well, the doctor might be useful in a bit. But for now, it's really gonna go to the puppy.
Oh my god.
It stands. It's also still bleeding from its ears into the fur. If you try to scratch it, your hand comes away covered in blood. The Cathars and the people that had surrounded this graph, the priestesses continue to chant with their holy symbols. The Cathars enter, kind of surveying the other graves in this place, many of them putting their swords back in their sheaths, but all just kind of like nodding to you. It was a grim task, but it needed to be done.
Did you, as Jake, say that, or did one of the Cathars say that?
One of the Cathars probably would.
Okay. Certainly was, but I think it's dealt with. I mean, probably something like this will happen again. I'm sure you're used to it.
Well, not really like this. It's getting worse. Just recently, last year or so, and eventually, you would see more familiar face, the kind of portly priest with the bald head and the hair just around the sides, kind of entering the graph somewhat timidly, but with an air of like this is part of his dominion. The brother Valentin approaching you and looking down at the spot where Acrio's hammer had hit the ground, almost as if he knows that was the place where it ended. Just wringing his hand slightly, his white gloves. Oh my, thank you all. Oh, what to do?
Yeah, I'm not sure we can help with that. Any ideas about how this happened?
Perhaps we go inside, leave the remaining
Yeah.
dead to peace.
Feels draining here.
He's-
Right.
He looks to the taller, unconscious individual in Amrita's arms. Is he alive? Is he okay?
He's all right, but he needs attention.
Do you think you would mind if I could ask? I mean, I do have some magics. Although not everyone is comfortable with that.
I
Oh, that's
barely know.
magic.
I barely know the man. It's whatever you think is best, sir.
Acrio
I'm
is
not sure how
like,
this person. I'm not sure how this person will react at all.
Well, it's men of science. I know Oscar was the same way. He never cared for. Perhaps take him to Oscar and see what he can do. Might be more respectful, I think.
He's still meaning Van Stein, right? That's his first name. Okay. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'll meet the rest of you at the tavern later, but figured get him some help. And just starts to like carry off like this other person with her, the doctor,
Are
as
you
much as she can.
Are you quite sure you don't want some lovely company? Presents himself.
Whatever. Well, whatever's up to you. We're all individuals.
I know it'll work eventually.
Grab his feet.
Cillian almost has to avoid stepping in the blood trail left behind by the two of these as they exit the graph.
Mhm.
The others, whoever would wish to follow, Brother Valentin kind of gestures that you follow him out of this hollowed space.
on
Lorelei
the way
goes to
out,
follow, and Lorelei goes to follow, but then she just kind of lingers by Lazar's grave for a moment, and then she doesn't follow Brother Valentin. She goes straight to the tavern.
She's just like, oh, okay. But she follows the priest.
Lorelei, you can see she is limping pretty heavily, hardly able to keep herself up. But yeah, she veers off in a different direction after paying respects at the more colorful grave.
She'll take a look at the name on the grave.
Yeah, if you glance at it, you can see it reads Lars Gray.
Looks at colorful grave, looks at last name being Gray. Mm.
The irony is not lost.
Yeah, she'll keep going after that.
So Asuriel and Acrio are following the priest.
before we leave, I'm gonna go up to the dog, and I'm going to pat it on its head, and then I'm gonna take out a little piece of jerky from my pocket and toss it to it, and be like, "Hey, Lori, get over here! Come on."
The
Lorelei
priest,
stops bleeding.
yeah. Brother Valentin will also kind of pat the dog on the back as you give it a treat, and say, "It's our resident graph hound. You see, Grim, I call him. It's a grim task, but he manages well.
Did a
He's a
damn
good
job.
boy.
I get it.
Yes, he's loyal."
You know, Blue, it's quite a nice dog, and they work for the church.
Please don't call me Blue. I'm
What?
listening, but just don't call me Blue.
Purple.
Did you get hit on the head?
Quite a few times.
That
Anyway.
would explain that.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, give the dog some pets. They did a great job as I'm petting its head, and then I roll it over onto its belly and start rubbing its belly.
It is very fluffy. It's a mastiff. But as I mentioned last session, one of the longer-haired varieties, what we would consider a Tibetan Mastiff. But yes, got that kind of like saggy chin under the fur.
Yeah.
And you can see it is wearing a chain of pure silver as a collar.
Lorelei gives it some belly rubs. That's a good dog.
That we're all just gathered around and giving belly rubs.
Easily amused. It's a good dog.
And then I'll leave Lorelei to pet the dog, and I'm like, you seem like a dog person. As I move over and I thank the priest. I'm gone by now. Thank the priest over here that stopped the banshee from escaping into the city.
Yeah, the various Cathars and priests and priestesses, the moon sages, will all kind of shake your hands, introduce themselves, and thank you for what you had done. All not excited, but yeah, there's no sense of victory in this, but it's a completed task. So I'm letting them do the symbol of Avacyn.
A solemn good job.
Mm-hmm.
Not a yeah, we won.
We're just like, that was fucked up.
We did what had to be done, and nobody got hurt. Well, nobody important got hurt.
Nobody alive got
Nobody important got
hurt.
hurt. Lorelei limping away, bleeding from the everything.
As I said, nobody important got hurt. That mean. All right, onward to the church.
So as you're doing this, the priest will just lay a gentle hand on Lorelei's shoulder. She's petting Grim, and you feel this warmth kind of radiate through you as you regain 8 hit points from a cure wounds.
That was really bad. She looks up like, thank you.
It's the least I can do.
I'm just sorry.
The angels watch over you.
I'm just sorry that I couldn't do more.
These times are darkening evermore. Perhaps we'll see you later. Tomorrow is the service. I hope you'll be there.
I will.
He will give Grim a quick pet and follow after Acrio.
Once nobody's around, Lorelei goes like, "Oh, you're a good boy," and then she'll get up and go to the tavern.
To the tavern?
Yeah, I'm going to the tavern. I'm not going with you guys.
Yeah, inside the cathedral, the brother will lead you kind of through the pews. You can see a number of the people who had kind of witnessed this ordeal have come inside. They're lighting candles, kind of on their knees in front of the stained glass. The images of Avacyn worked into the woodwork, the stone, angelic wings in the stained glass. And he will lead you off into a small side office past the large organ. Asuriel, you recognize it from the other day when he attempted to remove the collar from around your neck. Somewhat disheveled, papers everywhere, notes on various things. He will offer you a seat. I'm not sure that the rumors are true, but it would seem there is evidence. I don't know if you've heard. They say Avacyn is no longer among us.
Avacyn,
That was my reaction. But I don't know how it could be true. She was peerless and fearless. But the wards, the graphs, it's taking so much more to contain. The dead are restless. There's werewolves. I know it. Other things. These times are darkening. It will require the efforts of all of us. And I can only say thank you for what you have done. The people will need to stand firm together in these times.
If she...
Don't lose faith that Avacyn's gone. The power may not show itself, but it's still there.
Make a
It'll
persuasion
all-
check.
Oh,
That's Cap.
Oh, boy.
You see the brother slump back in his chair, hands kind of folded across his stomach. You are right, of course. There are many angels remaining. We will see through these dark times. Yes, I think we will.
and as you said, we just have to work together.
Do you mind if I ask if there's been any progress on your investigation into Cormac's
Insight.
fortunate
Insight.
Yes.
insight?
This man.
Insight.
Sure. Yeah, he's asking about the situation he
Okay.
talked to you about yesterday. I mean, he's always kind of like anxious appearing, you know, wringing his hands, but it doesn't. I mean, I don't know exactly what you're looking for, but
Nothing.
he doesn't
Yeah.
appear as though he's a werewolf that's about to punch.
His fangs aren't baring. He's not licking his lips like a
Protruding.
fucking prey.
Claws are coming out of his gloves.
Yeah, his hands aren't like slow. My, what big teeth you have, Mr. Priest. What does Acrio know? He wasn't in on a lot of the important stuff.
I mean, Asuriel is right there. She can say what she has
Yeah.
found if she
Yeah,
would wish to.
Asuriel, you.
I wanted to report back, but we didn't exactly have the time. We followed the tracks we found at the wall back to its possible source. It was a pigsty or a butcher's shop right beside it. There seemed to be claw marks in the pantry, and no one seemed to be there. That's all we found.
You don't think Natalia would be a victim of these creatures? They wouldn't have drug her away, would they?
I can't say.
Natalia.
There
This is-
didn't
this-
seem to be a struggle within the house. The claw marks
Nice.
were only in the pantry.
That may even be worse. I trust you will follow up on this.
Now, sorry, who's this Natalia?
Oh, she came to us several years ago. She was the apprentice to the old butcher, and once he passed, took over the shop. She's been a quiet resident, I think. I wouldn't think, but you know, they do hide within people's expectations, I suppose.
She doesn't sound like she's been bothering a lot of people.
Oh no, she's never been a troublemaker.
Right. I'm not gonna assume, but I guess we have to go check out that butchery today. See if that Natalia,
Natalia.
still there. And if not, then I guess we got a second murder on our hands.
Oh, dreadful times. Dreadful indeed. And Amrita and the pair of doctors,
Doctor,
go ahead and roll a d4. Dr. Engel.
I need to.
Roll a
right.
d4 to see how
Yeah.
how many hours he
How long?
takes to regain.
Okay.
All right, good to know. And that is where we're going to take a short little break. So,
Thank
we'll
God,
return
my spine
again.
hurts.
Amrita, you carry the body of this fairly tall Nephalian man, not quite as tall as you, but in your injured state, still dripping blood. It is a struggle. Cillian manages to ease the burden of a near dead weight that you're having to carry. Van Stein doesn't live far from the cathedral, so it's several blocks through the streets. Can I get one of you to roll me a d10 plus 5, please?
I've never done it. I'm doing it.
Do it. Plus 5.
Plus 5. Oh.
So,
that'd be
just
9.
9. Amrita, as you're carrying Dr. Engel with Cillian's help, you happen to glance over at one of the walls. You see several flyers, newspaper type things, clippings. You see one that kind of stands out, fairly new. It's a notice posted on the wall offering a bounty of 2 gold for any wolf pelt that is harvested from the Sumberwald or the surrounding area.
She gets caught off guard for that a moment, almost just like stumbling, and just like takes note of it.
Is
You reach-
2 gold a lot? Or
Say what?
is
2 gold is a lot,
or?
and yeah, wolves aren't typically hunted. They're considered they're a predator. They have to be killed for to keep the cattle safe, herds and that sort of thing, as well as people who do have to venture out or live outside the walls. But to be offering that amount just for the killing of wolves does seem like it's a conspicuous amount.
Did Cillian notice this too, or did Amrita?
Sure, yeah. You both would have.
Okay. Can I expect there's a name or anything, a contact way for this?
Yes, and it would be basically just bring to the garrison, and you see kind of like a signature and a wax seal indicating that it is Captain Dragomir.
Why would he need wolf paths to protect him?
Ooh. Yeah, Amrita wouldn't really know much with the captain, right? She only saw him. She doesn't know his name, I don't think. She's really
I mean,
close.
you may have observed, but
It's
up to you if you would have noticed that, his name.
I'm just going to say no, probably, since a lot of people were whispering at that time and she was a distance away.
Sure. I mean, your hearing is really good, but if nothing else, you would see that it is like the town militia that is offering this bounty.
Maybe I'll actually be able to get out of here quicker. That's another thought. I gotta get this man to Dr. Van Stein.
Yeah, sure. He's heavy. Big fella. Oh, by the way, Amrita. Changing accents. Amrita. Thank you for for trying, playing your flute. Normal people would just go the thing.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Sure.
Music's one of those things where you figured it could help some people to an extent, but by then, far gone.
Brings people together. I just really want to help the lost souls. Do you know that moment when you wake up in the middle of the night and a coat in the corner suddenly seems like a person? That inner fear? Got that all the time. Right now on that roof, there's someone jumping off, someone looking at me from over by those boxes. I want to help them. I just don't. So thanks for trying.
Sometimes we think we can help people, but sometimes in the end, it's always not enough. Trust me, I know. And Amrita just she doesn't say anything out loud, but she thinks back to a lot of her other comrades in the past, from Melina to Nathaniel, and then the recent comrade of theirs as well. But shrugs it off.
You reach Dr. Van Stein's house. It seems as though he was possibly looking out his window, because he opens the door before you even approach. Okay, well, what's happened now?
Mr. Engel here, look, just, he needs help. Some geist kind of got him down, and I figured you could help him.
Yes, I quite think I can. Bring him in.
Great.
Suppose I do owe him a return of favor. And over the next couple hours, Dr. Stein will attend to the hemorrhaging in Dr. Engel's skull and the other wounds. Would the rest of you, Cillian and Amrita, stay the entire time, or head out once you know he's stable?
Once Cillian's bored, he'll head off. Try to convince Amrita of the same, but...
Yeah, Amrita's gonna linger for a few minutes and stare over and just inquire of Dr. Van Stein. Everything is fine for right here, for now, yes?
He will survive.
Right. Sitting here, I guess, won't do much of anything else. And she just stands up. I hope he will feel better soon. Just figured bring him here since he assisted in the one thing.
Professional courtesy.
Best of luck in your endeavors, Mr. Stein.
And you as well. Seems as though... Well, no. He neglects to finish that statement.
Oh, that tension is palpable. I love it. Thank you, Doctor. And I'll head out.
He just kind of waves his hand toward the Vistani as he leaves.
Yeah, Amrita goes to follow him briefly, turns back and looks back at the doctor and everything.
Which one?
The one that's conscious.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can look at unconscious
but
people.
also looks at the unconscious one as well, but back at the other one, just there's one more thing I may want to inquire of you later, but I'll ask later when it's a more convenient time.
He'll pull one of his gloves off as he's kind of done with his procedures. Is this something I need to prepare for? Perhaps mention it now. We could deal with it later.
I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know if you would be able to help with this, but I don't know what I'm looking for, but in a way I think I would. Is it possible for one to interact with one's subconscious? Engage in a much longer conversation?
What you're speaking of is outside the realms of known science. If you want introspection, perhaps you talk to a priest.
Right. Very well then. And she just leaves.
Have a safe day.
Same to you.
You rejoin Cillian on the front steps of his, unless Cillian's bolted.
Oh, no, he's not bolted, but he's standing behind something and looking intently at her, mimicking what the ghosts do to him. Just linger a bit too long and say, "That's what it's like, all the time. It sucks."
Okay. And she awkwardly just starts like walking.
And Cillian annoys her the whole way back. But fun.
Do you ever just not enjoy silence?
Silence doesn't really exist for me. Those things, well, I wasn't actually completely mimicking them, because they're also screaming very loudly all the time. And if I don't drown them out by being me, fuck me, I'll explode.
I still have no idea what you're talking about, but all right. And she kind of just like scratches like in between like her two regular eyes and everything.
Oh, right, we're gonna talk about that now. What the fuck?
What?
Third eye? That's some spiritual shit. I loved it. Seemed great. But kinda freaked me out, you know?
That's a different story for another time, my friend. Long and complex.
This is the first time Amrita has ever referred to you as her friend.
I was just about to say.
Crap. Oh no!
Her Freudian slip.
Whoops.
Friend, eh? I can work with that.
Damn
So,
it.
can you also see better from up there? Keeps on walking, keeps annoying him with like eye puns and just keep looping back to the eye she doesn't want to talk about. Not actually making her say stuff about it, but just reminding her.
Internal groans the long way back to the tavern.
Speaking of long groans on the way back to the tavern, Lorelei.
Hello.
Does she go straight there? Or does she meander through the streets in the early morning?
She takes her time. She's not in any hurry because everyone has places to be, so she'll kind of enjoy the air for the moment. And civilization, because she really hasn't been around it a lot.
In which case, how does she find civilization as compared to her experiences
It's very
growing up?
overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. She's used to like wide open farmland and small like villages, everything being kind of built up and crowded almost it's different, and she doesn't really feel at ease around all these people and these places. But there's also this kind of sense of it's still good. Like it's uncomfortable, but she kind of likes it because solitude sucked, and this is a little better.
It seems no matter who you pass, there's always eyes on you, glances your direction. At first it feels like you're exposed to all these strangers, but in the back of your mind, you know, having people who watch out for one another is why civilization still exists. It's not necessarily comforting, but consciously you're aware of it.
She doesn't like interact with anybody, but like as they look at her, she just kind of like nods her head politely, like trying to seem a little friendly, but not, you know, not striking up like small talk with strangers.
Sure. And most of them, being Stinsian, are not necessarily wanting to engage in that either.
Yeah.
There's
mutual distance.
Respectful nods as they go about what they have to do. And yeah, you eventually make it back to the one primarily familiar location within this city, the Frowning's Wrath.
And she will take up a booth seat because there's nobody here to tell her not to sit in the booth.
Hey.
Not too long after, Cillian and Amrita arrive as well.
Oh, hey, Lorelei. I was just eyeing you from across here.
Lola like thinks for a minute. It's like, is he trying to? What's he getting?
Amrita just like groans out loud.
Oh, right. That.
We don't have to talk about it, of course.
Oh, really? I wasn't under the impression that you kept things secret when you knew about them.
I guess an eye for an eye.
Anyway.
That didn't even really work. I just really like saying the word eye right now.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
It's like morning, right, Jake?
Yeah, people would be filtering in for breakfast.
Yeah, sure. I could really use some coffee. Anyone want anything? I'm buying.
Coffee will do great, actually.
If you could leave us for a minute, that would be fine. I believe Asuriel said you wanted to speak with me. Amrita kind of like looks over at Lorelei.
I'm gonna kick her ass. Sure, I guess that can happen now.
I'll save my accent. And goes get coffee.
Lorelei kind of just like gestures for Amrita to sit like opposite her in the booth.
Yep, and Amrita does. Awkwardly just like sits there.
You want to be careful. First opportunity you get, I'll bet he'll tell someone.
Talkative he is. I knew the risk in that graph, regardless.
I dread to think what would have happened if you didn't do it. So, call it a calculated risk.
I prefer not to have too much attention, but at least that is the least of everyone else's worries. But what's on your mind?
Outside, when we interacted with the Vistani, we had a reading. And the reading that I was given pointed out that there are some things that I am keeping secret. And that until I reveal those secrets, our work can't begin. If this is to work, and we are to gain the trust of these people and solve this mystery, I think we're going to have to be a bit more forthright.
No offense to the Vistani, but I think that's just a load of crap. And Amrita just like gets visibly just like sort of angry for a moment, just like staring, like has her like one of her fists on the top of the table, but just like inhales.
Believe it or don't. But the point is, it made a point that made me think. These people aren't going to trust us unless we're honest. And as honest as we can be, I know. What with Cillian being a bit of a loudmouth, I dread to think anything we say will be funneled into the public ear soon enough, but I just think we need to tell them.
Tell them what exactly? Huh? Tell them that the people that we used to travel with are gone. 2 of which who completely now doubt my capabilities. Repellum, William. Well, maybe in some ways William was right. You should never trust me to begin with.
Don't say that. We still fought beside them. We'd probably be dead if not for them.
I fought beside them. Fought beside Lars, Melina, Nathaniel. I can't go through it anymore. If any of these people die, I'm not going to have it on my hands. And I'm not. I'm a disgrace now. Do you understand that? A murderer in cold blood. She kind of like just stands and slams the fist down on the table.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know how that feels? You're not the only one in pain here, Amrita.
Bad things will happen if we continue to travel like this. I'm gonna help you guys in this group just because I don't want anyone else to get hurt, anyone else to die. Not even that doctor. But after that, I'm going to Silburn regardless.
You know, I think Asuriel's headed that way. And she said I could go with them. But you're not going to let that happen, are you?
You would probably be better off with the Cathar and that one who seems to also appear to have some kind of magic. Much more angelic. At least compared to mine.
You're my friend, Amrita. I care about you. I don't want to see you run off on your own. Because whenever I'm not around, that's when bad things happen to people. If I'm not around to protect you, I don't know what could happen.
It's quite funny because for me it's the opposite effect. When I am around, one, if not all, dies.
Again, you think I don't know that? You think I don't know what pain you're going through right now? You think I don't understand, that I don't empathize? There's one thing I know, it's that solitude doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve anything. But you seem hell-bent on hating me. So go.
I don't hate
Do what you
I
please.
hate myself. And she leaves and just goes out of the tavern in a rush.
Lorelei just kind of sits there.
I think Cillian probably would have picked up on the last outburst, if nothing else.
Coffee for the lady?
Just sit down.
Now don't answer this because I'm an asshole. Are you okay?
Lorelei just points at the tears forming in her eyes, like, I think
realized
you can answer that for yourself.
Stupid question. How do you guys know each other?
Well, we kind of met because of the whole Yond business. That's kind of how we came to know each other, really. She was the first of a handful of people that I met. And Lorelei, stops herself. I don't want you blabbing this out to anyone, okay?
Sorry I did the last time. I'm a fast talker. I like that when I needed something to talk about. In a split second, these things are allowed again. This is a hard thing for me to admit, but I feel sorry. Genuinely. I just didn't realize it was in...
It's fine. Really.
Nobody ever trusts me, right? I'm Vistani. People look at me and they see a liar, they see a deceiver, and I just didn't think it would be true. And I thought it was a fun story to tell. But you'd be wrong in guessing me someone you can trust with your secrets. I'm willing to listen, always, and if you tell me to not tell anyone, I won't. I like making, of course I do, but I'm not gonna blab about Amrita's thing.
Good.
That I was worried about.
Because you cross her and I can't save you from that.
Oh, right. But I've been towing the line, Lorelei. It's been fun. I know I shouldn't cross it, and I'll never cross it, but, just taking on. It's great. You need some excitement in your life.
I have plenty of excitement.
Sure.
Amrita and I met. So I've only been around people for about a couple of months now. I spent the last 10 years completely alone in the wilderness.
10 years. Solid.
10 years. 10 years.
Not no long for a day. My entire life.
It's not easy.
No, I imagine.
It sends you crazy. It sends you desperate. It brings out parts of you that you really wish you didn't have. And that part of me was drawn out when I came here. And I met people that I genuinely care about, and that accepted me, let me stay with them. For once I wasn't alone. For once I actually had people to be with. And it was beautiful. It was wonderful. I love all of them. But one died. 2 are gone. Soon to be 3.
Well, if you're afraid of solitude again, I'm here. Now I've got... Okay, so, full honesty for a second, I'm pretty sure some people are after me, or gonna be after me for not starting painting, and I'm supposed to return with money and stuff, and I'm better off just dodge and weave for the rest of my fucking life. So that's gonna catch up eventually. For now, you want to stay with a known criminal?
Well, Asuriel said I could go with her and Acrio. I think they're headed north. So,
yeah, right. I'll hop on.
Safety in numbers, I guess.
They don't like me. Exactly.
I'm sure they'll let you go. If they let me go with them, they'll let you.
I'll be nice. I promise.
Dr. Engel, you awaken with what is likely the worst splitting headache you've experienced in your life.
He would open his eyes, can assess the situation, kind of look where he is, what's happening, probably spot Dr. von Stein.
Who at this point is with another patient in the other room. You can kind of, glancing over, see that he's attending to something. Doesn't seem overly serious. Not nobody was run over by a carriage or anything. But yeah, it takes a bit to orient yourself after everything, and especially with the pain in your skull. But you do have your bearings.
He would probably first look, depending on if he has his doctor supplies, then he would use these to basically give himself some painkillers to deal with the...
Yeah, all of your stuff would have been brought over by Amrita and Cillian. Although you don't know that, but it is, you glance over and you find it next to the couch where you've been laid out.
Yeah, then he would just give himself some painkillers, kind of wait for them to kick
morphine right into the arm.
Yeah, probably kind of remembering what he saw, kind of writing down the observation of the third eye with Amrita, and yeah, probably reignite his pipe to wait for Dr. von Stein for now.
You would also find your over jacket is off and it's hanging on a rack not too far away.
Okay. Yeah. Then he takes it as well, dusts that off.
The patient is led out after the consultation with the doctor, who will glance your direction, seeing that you're sitting up. After seeing her out, come into the room and just kind of put his hands in his waistcoat pockets. Seemed like that was quite an ordeal.
Definitely would seem that way, given how I was knocked out. But
should I inquire as to what exactly caused that?
Well, the thing, the apparition that screamed seemed to be some sort of supernatural effect that most likely ruptured blood vessels within my skull, at least to some extent, I would reckon. Right.
He will light a candle. He'll strike a match, light a candle. Just going to check for a concussion. You understand? Hold it up. Advise you to look various directions. Seems fine, I suppose.
Very good. Such a mind would be wasted on something so trivial. Anyway, as he kind of leans back, it would seem that your patient, the one I was treating, Miss Mablethorne, she is quite a peculiar person, wouldn't you agree?
He will pull from one of his waistcoat pockets, where his hand was, a small golden case, flip it open and pull out one of the pre-rolled cigarettes, putting it between his lips and holding the candle up. Sitting down next to you as you both smoke. She is interestingly afflicted.
Right. Go on.
You understand that the confidentiality between a doctor and patient prevents me from going much further. I don't know what you saw, what you think you saw.
Very well. I admire that honesty, that conviction. Nowadays, unfortunately, many of our colleagues do not hold that confidentiality in the same esteem as we do.
The Inquisition in Kessig, even the medical professionals are turning on the people, making reports. I wonder sometimes if they're accurate or not.
There's a terrible thing, I must say, but what can a singular man do except uphold his own values and try to inspire those around him?
Sounds like just about it.
Seeing as this seems to be sorted out, I think it would be a good idea to speak with Miss Mablethorne to inquire about her peculiar condition.
If she's willing to speak, far be it from me. I don't think she's long for Korsova.
Either way, I don't think she will have much of an option. He kind of just puts on his jacket, gets his bag, kind of nods at the other doctor, and then leaves.
He sits back contemplating as he finishes his cigarette. And yeah, you exit the house onto the street.
Probably going for his own house to kind of, stock up a bit on, stock up on supplies, rest up a bit, and then probably after that would ask around, seeing as, with the insurgents of, toppling Yond and everything, he reckons they should be fairly well known.
That so, and while you're not fully aware how the events of the morning transpired, there were several people more than several who witnessed everything going on, so.
Yeah. It's easy enough probably to ask for where are they?
I mean, nobody knows exactly where they are, but you get the...
Where they stay.
Yeah, people would say that as far as they've heard, most of the group is staying at the Frowning's Wrath.
Yeah, then you would probably head there after resting up.
Acrio and Asuriel, are you rejoining the others before heading to the butcher's shop, or striking out on your own?
I want this to be church business. I'll go alone with Asuriel.
Who is muted, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say maybe go back to the tavern, but if Acrio wants to go right to the butcher, she'll follow him.
I want to do a quick little inquiry before we bring everybody. It won't be long.
Sure.
Just like a quick peek in. Hey, you alive in there? Okay, bye.
Welfare check.
Yeah.
Asuriel can pretty easily lead you to the location where the tracks that you had spotted the other night had ended. You're hit with the smell of pigs and hogs long before you actually get there. It's not great, but Stenzia is a region of livestock, so
yeah,
you are fairly used to it. You see people going in and out of this shop. They don't seem overly disturbed. So do with that as you will.
I'm gonna peek around back, like if I can see the tracks.
If Asuriel points them out, they were very faint in this area because this is like actual cobblestone street.
Yeah.
So she would point to something that's like, yeah, it's kind of the edge then maybe that's a claw mark.
Like there's like
Or something
slight
it's stepped.
scratches on the side of the
Just
cobbles.
barely, and you're kind of like, sure, that could be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once I get to the building, I'll kind of do a loop around it. Like, is anything destroyed? Are there open doors still, or is like everything been?
As far as you can tell, it is a completely functional and not destroyed building. Hogs kind of rutting around in the mud, feeding their morning slop. But nothing appears out of place.
Yeah, I guess we'll take a little meander on inside.
As you do, there's several people waiting in front of the counter and at bench seat. At the counter, you see a shorter woman, maybe slightly shorter than Asuriel, darker skin, darker hair. She's wearing a blue apron that's just completely blood splattered. She has a butcher's cleaver off to the side, and she's chopping up cuts of meat.
Yeah, I'll wait in line.
Cyril's kind of hiding behind him a little bit.
Yeah. And then, how long does it take for these people to get out of my way so I can talk to them?
A little bit, but first I need Asuriel to make a stealth check.
Oh no.
Echo's still out of his armor, so he's a lot taller.
Okay. It only takes a few minutes. This woman seems fairly quick. There's also a younger man, long blonde hair, similarly with a dark apron on, tools and knives and that sort of thing. He's a little gruffer, but he's in and out of the cold storage area, bringing up slabs of meat. Has like a rack of ribs slung over his shoulder.
The fucking vein in his arm. Ew.
But the
Everyone
woman behind the
looks
counter.
so angry in this artwork.
Stanzia.
Yeah.
How they look in Stanzia.
But no, as the last person makes their way, and you can approach the counter. Yeah, the one woman behind it is just, she kind of sighs. All right, what can I do for you? She seems tired.
Yeah. Well, I'm passing through a little bit, and not too many people that do traveling supplies.
Out with it. You need
traveling supplies.
jerky.
Meats. Yeah. Do you got jerky?
Mm-hmm. We have plenty of that. We
Great.
did a few travelers, and less so now.
I
On the
will
last of our stocks, we need to keep it moving before it goes bad.
Yeah. How does me coming and picking it up in a day sound?
If you can take it now.
I don't want to be carrying it around while I'm still in town.
I see.
Yeah.
Certainly, that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, you're Natalie, right?
Natalia?
Natalia. Awesome. Great. I'll remember that name. I'll be back in a day. Thanks. Oh, and your assistant. Is he new? I came around. Never seen him. Never seen him before.
He's around.
All right. Well, have a good day. I'll be back for those supplies. I appreciate your time.
She will write a quick receipt for them with the cost and give that to you so you can bring that back.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Back to the tavern.
Both of you give me a perception check real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Acrio, you're in and out with your whatever suspicions you may have about either or both of them. Asuriel, as you're leaving, you just hear the blonde man kind of
He knows I was here. He knows I was here. Help. she just kind of like hurries a little bit out of the shop when she hears that.
Jesus, early look like you've seen a ghost.
I don't know. I might be paranoid, but it sounded like he might have smelled me, and I was here last night.
Alright, we're gonna go meet up with everybody else. This looks like we're closing in on our suspects. Butcher. Why? Who else would it be? Of course it's a fucking butcher.
Is it the butcher, the baker, or the candlestick maker?
Fools really differ.
Yes.
All right.
You can hurry back through the streets to the Wrath. Where is? I'm assuming Amrita has left. She's no longer present.
Yeah, she's no longer present.
Mm-hmm. So that you would find Cillian and Lorelei in a booth, not at the bar.
Got it. Acrio will pull up a chair and elect to not sit in the booth.
And that's the time I use my hamster to not pay for a drink.
No way. It worked?
It worked. Totally worked. It fell right into my lap.
What is this about a hamster?
Oh, don't matter.
Long story.
Where did you guys come from?
Oh, the
I just stumbled in the haystack.
Haystack? What?
Nothing, never mind.
Anyway, went to the church. Not the bishop, the priest is getting nervous, as seems like he always is. That place you went to yesterday, went back. Everybody that's previously worked there is still there, so one of the individuals in there is probably a little suspicious.
What do you mean?
Well, apparently, according to Asuriel, one of them smelled her. I don't think normal humans just smell each other from 20 feet away.
I mean, not everyone's senses of smell are that great, but people smell different.
Yeah,
Stink
but
away.
like, Asuriel over here doesn't have perfume and she is showered, so I think
Yeah.
you take showers, right, Asuriel?
Yes?
I kind of smell her from like 20 feet away. Yeah, no,
In the past week that you've known her traveling and fighting things on the street in Korsava, she has not bathed yet.
Ew.
I mean,
We were
neither
in the
have
rain
you.
like yesterday. It's
Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
got rained on.
But I'm guessing like everybody has that same level of
Pretty much.
It ain't like
Dampness.
It's not. Oh yeah, it's definitely not worse than anyone else.
Yeah.
You just recollect that she hasn't yet.
Everybody kind of smells not okay, so
Yeah.
it like
everybody kind of
evens the
stank.
playing field. Yeah. Yeah. So
Although the waitress
Oh.
Anne smells amazing. She probably
course she
bathes
does.
regularly.
That luxury
they
life.
fuck. Anyway, yeah. So tonight, probably, yeah, we're gonna have to follow them, see what they're up to.
Makes sense.
I'm probably not going to be a huge amount of help. I'm pretty tapped. I'm kind of exhausted. I mean, I'll go, but don't expect too much magic from me.
That's okay.
I can slow them down if they try and bolt, but that's about it.
That'll be better than most things, honestly, if you can just stop them from getting away. But
That's actually useful. I bet a werewolf is fast.
Yeah, I can slow them down. I mean, they'll still be fast, but not as fast.
That's good. Or anything
At
else we
this
need to
time-
do?
about this time, the door of the tavern opens. You see the man from this morning who had assisted Asuriel step into the tavern, kind of very stiffly surveying the room. And Dr. Engel you would catch sight of at least the four of them in a booth. The particular woman you're looking for doesn't seem to be amongst them.
Cyril will wave at him and shuffle over to him. It's like, hey, thanks for helping me earlier.
Just kind of looks at her, makes no comment about her awkwardness.
There's still
Eventually.
two like dark, kind of grayish, not cuts, but marks on her face. It's almost as if somebody had smudged ash beneath her skin.
Yeah, he kind of looks at that and it's like, does it seem like there is something underneath the skin? You said, right?
It's a so yeah. Give me a medicine check, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It would look like it would look similar to gangrene. It's a mild necrosis of the skin.
Gross.
He looks at that and it's like, I might have to treat the layers of skin. Might have to open that up later and sew
What?
it shut properly. Well, if you have looked in the mirror, there's something still wrong with the wound.
Oh.
So in order for it not to get infected or to make your life more difficult, I will have to take another look at it.
All right. I hope it's nothing bad, and thank you again.
Shouldn't be too bad, but it needs to be treated.
We'll just cut your cheek off and replace it with something else.
Kind of
Please
just
no.
looks at Acrio and just knows that won't be necessary.
That was
That's-
not the character.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. You know what? It was. Acrio like makes a mimicking voice from like across the room.
He doesn't really overly care. Where's your companion? Miss Mablethorne is her name.
Not here.
Fair enough. But Mr.
That
Sir,
is-
you're alive. That's good news.
Right, that is indeed good news. I very much like being alive. Who might you people be then?
All right. Introductions. Hi, I'm Cillian Vistani. Thanks for the help back there. I think we needed it.
Mention it. I, for my part, am Professor Dr. Joachim Engel. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
That's a dope title. Professor and a doctor. Nice.
Right. Medicine and psychology, both respectively.
Lorelei's
Make a mention of
like
it.
in the booth closest to the wall, and she just like presses herself further up into the wall. So
Yeah, there's no expression change. Well, Cillian, is there any last name to you, or
Yeah, it's Vistani.
so
Got a
you're
problem with that?
Vistani and your last name is Vistani,
Yeah, sure. Love her.
right? What about the rest of you fine people?
Lorelei Fenwick, thank you for your help earlier.
I said don't mention it. It is my duty to help. Kind of looks at the white-haired woman.
I'm Asuriel.
Make your acquaintance, and you are? As he kind of just looks at Acrio.
Acrio Revito. But I must say, next time when there's a line of Cathar blocking off an area, maybe civilians shouldn't run past them and then proceed to die to the ghosts trying to kill people.
Well,
Thank you for the help, but it's Cathar business.
right. Make a note of that the next time.
The doctor would also note Asuriel can give no last name if he were to ask. She does not have a surname because he had asked for Cillian's last, and I assume he would have eventually acquired or inquired of hers.
Yeah. It is very peculiar. Why is that?
I don't know. If I had one, I don't really remember.
And why is that?
Let's
Yeah.
not pry too early, sir.
I mean,
This
it's
is just
fine.
me being curious in a scientific fashion. I'm naturally curious. If they
Nosy.
that you could also say, I guess, but if the young lady doesn't want to answer, that is very much up to her. I won't bother if she doesn't want me to.
I mean, it's fine. It's not exactly a secret or anything. I just don't remember anything past a week ago.
So that is quite interesting. Kind of just holds out his notebook, makes a note of that. So that is amnesia.
It's just like Cyril just like watches him pull out the towels. Like, what the fuck?
Well, as I said, I'm curious, even more so now, from a scientific point of view.
Why?
You don't object.
Why are you looking for Amrita?
Well, I was treating her at some point yesterday, and as you all know, we ran into each other today, and there was something I wanted to ask her about.
Well, I can pass a message on to her. I doubt you'll find her quite easily.
You could, but I don't think I can relay my message to her here. If you were to, forward it to her.
I'll do such a thing.
Well,
Of course, she's off on her own, so we'll see her when she wants to be seen.
right. That is very fair. He just kind of takes out his pipe, just lights it again. If she does not return by the evening, I will simply come back at a later point. Perhaps tomorrow then.
As soon as he lights the pipe, Cillian just sort of starts fidgeting, looking longingly at it.
Oh my god, is he
Oh
an
no,
ex-smoker?
someone's been quitted.
Kind
It's
of
like,
just
I
kind of
beat it,
looks
man.
at him, kind of stops, and just like, are you alright? Can I help you with anything?
Oh, it's fine. I quit like 3 months ago, and it's fresh, you know. Tobacco is
Yeah.
fresh.
Addiction is a very
But I wouldn't say addiction. I mean, I stopped, didn't I?
well.
All right, you're right. I was like completely addicted. I get addicted like way too easily, and it sucks.
It also sounds like a problem that perhaps somebody should look at. So once more, just kind of makes notes the entire time.
Lorelei looks like visibly uncomfortable. He's like making notes on people. It's just like, oh.
He just
There's
kind of
like maybe glancing over a little bit. It's like, what is he writing exactly?
basically just writing like, for example,
This
with
one's a
amnesia,
bitch.
like treatment methods and stuff like that, causes, the addiction, kind of where that originated from. He's basically kind of brainstorming already, kind of trying to click into the minds of the people around him.
Make sure when you draw me your little book, you get my left side, my best side.
The vitiligo pattern is much cooler on that side.
Exactly, looks like a dragon.
It's like, I'm not the one for drawing, but you do have quite a bit of humor about you.
I just got right through my defenses. Thank you, I think. That sounded like a compliment at least.
No, yeah, it definitely was. Humor helps in times like these. Most people are quite miserable.
I mean, it's sort of understandable, I guess.
It is the way of the world. Not really an option, but deal with it. Anyway, as he kind of just looks around, kind of surveying the room once more. Thank you for whoever, I assume it was you, that brought me to my colleague. I appreciate it.
It was me, I did that. Mm-hmm. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
Just kind of, there's still no expression change, but kind of just gives him the look of, okay, dude.
Excellent use of a triple negative.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he just kind of looks at the rest. If Miss Mablethorne shows up again, I would be greatly appreciative if one of you could notify me, or at least tell her that I want to speak with her. Then she could also seek me out. That also makes things easier.
Sure will, Professor Doctor.
Does he have a business card or anything?
Yeah, he would probably hand out one of his business cards to kind of give it to Cillian. Cillian, my bad.
Love the design.
It's like literally just like very plain, like a white card, black lettering.
Comic Sans.
Hey!
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, and no buts.
I'm just imagining the scene from American Psycho where they're analyzing the white shell face type.
He has a nicer business card than me.
Cillian is looking for the watermark.
Hello, plate. Oh my god.
The address would have been written in Quill because it is a temporary address.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, then he would probably after that excuse himself and just leave again.
Amrita, how has she been biding her time after her little outburst?
I'm gonna sneak back to Jan's mansion and go to that one room.
Before you do that on your way, can you roll me roll a d10 plus 5, please?
Okay.
So you just happen to notice as you're moving through the street, it's nothing too out of the ordinary, but you just happen to see that one of the men moving through the street seems to be equipping and kind of checking on the settings, I guess you would say, on a newly purchased crossbow. Seems to be adjusting it to his specifications. Doesn't pay you any mind, just moves on.
Where does he look like he's going?
South.
She stares momentarily, but like disregards it. She continues walking.
As you approach Jan's manor, in the daylight hours, there are several more guards and a Cathar that kind of patrol the streets in the area, make it a little trickier to try to sneak inside. But you notice one of the guards actually notices you, not suspiciously, but more like, oh, I know who that person is, and starts approaching you.
Yeah, I imagine like she just stops, almost just like staring at it, thinking about things before like noticing like the guard, and it's just like, good day.
Morning. It's Amrita, right? Or Miss Mablethorne, if you prefer.
Either one, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, I was there this morning, saw what a lot of you did, and that was pretty impressive. Just want to let you know, I think the other matters probably taken care of. Got someone turn themselves in on that Cormac business. Just thought you might want to know. You don't really need to.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Oh yeah, the herbalist Buckthorn. He turned himself in this morning.
Where is he?
Well, I mean, he's at the jail. Obviously, turned himself in for a murder.
Do you think they'll let me speak with him?
I mean, I suppose if you want to, but I mean that kind of just closes the book on it, doesn't it?
Can you really take me to him, please?
Oh, I mean, not quite the reaction I was expecting. Well, just if you go down to the garrison, I'm sure the captain will. Well, you have to talk to him anyway.
Which way is the garrison?
Give you basic directions.
Amrita nods, like stares at Jan's mansion one more time, debating about that one room with the silver manacles before just quickly going in that direction.
You rush through the streets at a quickened pace, it sounds like, until you reach the guardhouse and the jail cells. There are a couple standing outside the front. They'll just kind of curtly nod to you if you attempt to enter. They don't stop you at all.
Yeah, she goes inside. And does she like see any like specific person to like inquire?
With your passive perception, just glancing around, and you kind of smell the air. You detect the heavy tobacco cigar smell of Dragomir from one of the side offices.
She slowly like approaches before just like knocking on maybe like the side or something.
Yeah, you can just hear a voice within, just, come on in.
Excuse me, but I'm here to see someone that's in the cells.
Filling out some kind of paperwork, glances up. That would be you and Buckthorn, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a shite business. Why you want to talk to him?
I just heard that he turned himself in. I find it highly unlikely that whatever might have happened, he couldn't have done it.
Really? You think a man puts his own head on a chopping block for no reason?
Look, I don't know, but look, can I just please talk to him?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
I'm
Come on, babe.
Come on. I want to cry because I'm like, no.
You're gonna have to give me a better reason than you just want to talk to him.
And he just shuts the door, and like there is a door, right? So you can just like shut that was
Yeah.
open. All right, she shuts it and like puts her hands down like on the table and like looks at the guy, just like staring at him, and like just the smoke of the tobacco, just like, ugh. She tries not to wriggle her nose and everything, and it's just like, listen, we found me and my friends. Like she almost has to calm herself down a little bit. She feels like this almost like urge to just like growl and everything. So much tension building. It's just like they saw prints of like at least probably 3 outside the town of other people not people, but prints of werewolves outside the skirts of the town. Ask the blacksmith's mother. She was out there. She saw them, or saw what was left of them. The rain washed them away. So, and just, if this man was friends with the one called Cormac, why? Like, why would he do this? Why would he say that he would hurt someone he cares about? It doesn't make any sense. Not with what me or what any of my friends have, or colleagues, whatever, what they've discovered. Ooh.
You see the ash ignite the glow of the cherry as he breathes in the cigar, breathes out smoke. First of all, get your hands off my desk. Secondly, if there are more wolves inside the gate or outside, we'll deal with them when the time comes. As to why Buckthorn might have done this, not sure I really care. But he says he did it. So who am I to question? Who are you to question? Look, I know what you did. I've seen the head on the spike. That doesn't give you the right to throw your weight around.
All I'm asking is that you at least let me speak with him. But how much more evidence could there be? What if there's other killers? And what if you have an innocent person in there? Anyone can not think rationally, especially for someone they care about, die. Of course, they're always going to blame themselves for what happened. I don't believe it, being the herbal man he is. You can't honestly believe this bullshit. She slams one fist down on the table again.
He just glances down at that. People do shitty things. People get violent all the time. If you want to talk to him, let's go talk to him. And he'll stand up and gesture for you to leave the room with him.
She does.
And he will lead you through the row of jail cells, most of which are empty. There are a few people locked up. But in the second to last prison cell behind somewhat rusted but fairly solid steel bars, you see Ewan sitting on this kind of like pallet bed leaning against the wall. It seems as though he's not fully there, like his mind is not in his current situation.
Buckthorn.
Oh, it's you.
It is. And she like glances back at the guy that's like the lead of the people, and like back at Buckthorn.
The Captain Dragomir will just kind of sarcastically motion.
Listen, I don't know what you told them or why you're blaming yourself for something that you didn't even. I don't believe that you did it or that you're capable. I mean, no human is perfect, and you may have squabbles with people, but in the past, but why?
He will look past your shoulder to Dragomir and just... You can sense there's something he wants to say but can't. I think this is just for the best. It's just... This is what I deserve.
Amrita just kind of chokes, just like no words. Anger just like rising up as she like holds on to like the edge of the bars and like stares at the man behind her. I'm gonna go back and get those other people. But I'm telling you, you have the wrong person. No matter what he says, this man, he's weak in a state of mind, of sadness at the loss of someone he cared about. And if you don't see that, then you're blind, as you are foolish. And you trying to sweep this under the rug as if it's some kind of dogs. Let me ask you this, why? Why are you... You seem to just... I don't know. She just loses like her tongues and everything.
I could ask the same question. What's your interest in this?
My only concern is that you remember the pain that Jan caused other people. I'd hate for something similar to happen again.
All right. Is that everything?
For now. And she like turns back one more time to stare at Bumthorn, and it's just like, please, just don't Theo, just rest for now as well as you can. We'll figure this out. But I just don't believe what you say is to be true. And she just like turns back and just stares at the one guy and then just walks out.
Before you leave, you would hear him just glance up. Amrita, thank you for believing. We can be better. And that's where we're going to close the curtain on this week's session.
Oh.
God damn.
Oh my god. I gotta clean this makeup off now and like maybe go cry for 5 minutes.